Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon to my WTA members. Good afternoon, parents. Good afternoon, students. Good afternoon, community members. And good afternoon to our union siblings who came out to support us today. I want to introduce you to our secretary, Eric Scarborough.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out here. I have to say that I never realized the type of support we have in the community, that there's so many of you who have shown your support on Facebook. You've posted on there. You've come out to our rallies. The families, the parents, the students. I have to say the students, that means the most to me. No offense to you parents or anyone else, right? But seeing students of mine, seeing students at the high school, seeing elementary students with their super cute signs that they've handwritten themselves, it really is joyous, because throughout all of this process, this is something that as a teacher, I've been teaching now for 17 years, not just U.S. history, but history in general. I never thought this would be something I had to do. So that's something I had to do to ensure that we're doing what's best for Woburn, for what's best for our students, what's best for our educators. I never thought I would have to do this, and I never wanted to, because for me, teaching is a calling. I always wanted to be a teacher, and I grew up wanting to be a teacher. I used to play school, my four brothers. I used to play school with them and make them read from textbooks and stuff. I wasn't a very good teacher when I was a kid. I got better. I swear I got better. And answer questions and stuff. And we had one of those like old, really old timey desks made out of wood, I'm sure, with the inkwell. It was just so cool, and of course it was cool to me. I'm a history teacher, but it meant so much to me, and I never realized that that's what I wanted to do as a child. But as I grew older and I went to college, I realized that, and it is so much of a calling to me. I very much miss my students. I just saw one of them with her sign, and she's just so lovely as a student, and I miss her. She's in my 7th year class. She always, it's the end of the day, and she always is so energetic, and she has so much passion for what she loves, particularly music, that it's just always a lovely experience to see her and to see all of my students. And I haven't, for the last 3 days, been able to do that. I care so deeply for what I do. It's a passion. I absolutely love it. And we all really want to get back into the classroom. We're hoping that we can get a solution today, that we can get something done, and that we can do right by our students, and get the gym twice a week for elementary school students. That we can get smaller class sizes, in particular at the elementary school level, where class sizes, are most impacted by these changes. So I want to thank the parents who have come. We're going to have some parents speak right now, and I want to thank everyone who has supported us. I also, before I forget, I want to thank everyone who has donated food to us. All the businesses, all the community members, all of the parents. It means so much to us. It warms all of our hearts. It truly does. It truly does. Thank you. So I would like to introduce Tanya to come on up and start us off.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tanya Napoli. and I am speaking on behalf of our teachers. As a Woburnite, as a graduate of the class of 2004, as a parent of a child in this school system, and as a daughter of a former educator. Having been raised by a teacher, I know firsthand what they do and how hard they work. Their day does not end when the bell rings. They take homework every night, every weekend, and every school vacation. They are in schools in August, getting their classrooms ready. They often handle many out-of-pocket expenses to buy classroom supplies, decorations, prizes, and awards for their students. My mom spent a fortune on all of the above. They are also forever taking courses to maintain their certifications. Our teachers and our paraprofessionals who serve our children are the backbone of our city. It is shameful that our teachers have been forced to strike. This was not what they wanted. But unfortunately, this administration is not cooperating. Our mayor, Scott Galvin, is literally walking out of meetings and refusing to negotiate. As a result, we are now in a state of emergency. We are calling upon our city council to replace Scott Galvin. In our negotiations to help resolve this situation, please, 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 for the sake of our students, let's get this done so we can get back to our classrooms. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce Mike DeLuca.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to read from my notes. First, my name is Mike DeLuca. Like many here, I'm a husband and a father. My wife, Sandra DeLuca, is a para at the Woodbury Elementary School. She had to leave to go to her second job. Our three boys all came from the Woburn public school system. We're immensely thankful and fortunate to have them. We're very, very thankful to have them come through the system, be supported by such great educators through the years K through 12. Can you hear me okay? Is that better? Thank you. We proudly called Woburn home for 25 years. As I've been standing in the crowd, moms, dads, brothers, sisters, students, I can't help but be inspired by the passion and solidarity on display. These people are friends, neighbors, family members, and they're simply asking to have a respectable and reasonable living wage. In short, to be treated with dignity. Why should this even be a question? These paraprofessionals may not have advanced degrees or lofty titles, but what they do have is compassion and humanity. They are dedicated to the children and to their classrooms, dedicated to their teachers and to helping ensure that their students have the best learning environment possible every day. On some days this borders on impossible due to many factors, yet they persevere. The unfortunate byproducts of these difficult days are brought home and are seen at the dinner table, and in the emotional and physical pain carried with them until they close their eyes for the night and wake to somehow draw strength needed to continue to work and support their students and teachers every day. All this for a meager salary of what can be obtained working at a fast food restaurant. Yet they persevere. And they are told by a short-sighted administration that they are replaceable. This is the height of disrespect. Mr. Mayor, Superintendent Crowley, and the school committee members, your positions in this administration require more and demand better. We demand better.
Yes.
The para role may be replaceable, but the dedicated people fulfilling it certainly are not. They ask for little, yet they give their all. This is because, to these folks, this is not just a job, it is who they are. To assume otherwise is a mistake and a disservice to the professional men and women of the Woburn public school system and to the students who have bonded with and need these teachers and paraprofessionals every day on a daily basis for their professional and student development. Mr. Mayor, Superintendent Crowley, and the school committee, you're essentially turning your backs on these teachers and paras. This while the city of Woburn enjoys cash reserves that are near the highest in the state. You are unwilling and are unable to understand the reality of the love and dedication that these people bring to the classroom day in and day out. As such, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Superintendent, and school committee members, we thank you. We thank you for your transparency and for putting on display for all the residents of the city of Woburn, surrounding communities, and for everyone who has access to any social media platform, putting on display exactly who you are and what you stand for. Finally, it is you who are replaceable. It is you who require a lesson in humanity and compassion.
Yes.
It is you who need to evaluate yourselves and what you stand for. Please do the right thing for your teachers, your paras, and for your community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you, Tanya. I had gotten distracted a little bit because I didn't expect WTA President Barbara Locke to come. She's dropping by to make a quick remark, and then she's going to be heading right back to the Joy. So Barbara, come on over.
This defines community. This defines community. This is what our community should be. We are a family. We are family now. And although family disagrees and maybe argues once in a while, we come back with love and compassion and care. And that's what we need to do. We need to bring all of the servants of Woburn, not just teachers and paras and nurses, police and fire, DPW and library, and the people who work in that building, and care for them because they care for this community, and respect them, and value them. That's what'll energize them. That's what'll make them come to work and be so much stronger. So, although the narrative right now is we want to get this contract done, it's become another narrative. And it's about community and about family. And thank you so much for your support. We love you. Hang in there. We're going to get a contract. And we're going to be back in gym class.
Thank you, Barbara. Our next teacher. Like we're going to have conferences right now, right? Our next parent speaker is Jessie. She's got a few bundles of joy here. Here you go. Thank you.
Hi everybody, Jessie Wetzel. Just a little personal journey for me and the teachers and the experiences that we've had in the community. My husband and I bought our first house here almost 8 years ago. We now have a kindergartner, Addison, a preschooler, Aurora, and then a future Tanner, Aubrey. And the school has just been amazing. My oldest daughter is visually impaired, and we transitioned from early intervention into the Woburn School District. And as a parent, it's frightening. It was scary. We didn't know what to expect. And the teachers just bent over backwards. She has a one-on-one paraprofessional she's worked with since 3. She's now 6. Her paraprofessional currently is learning Braille, which if you haven't looked at the Braille code, it's not just an alphabet, it's a series of contractions and everything you'd use in the English language put into Braille. To learn it is quite a task, and to do that as an educator, that's above and beyond. Her classroom teacher, also learning Braille. She's had she has specialty service providers she works with, and those are not within the Woburn School District, they're outside, that's contracted through Woburn, and her teachers, in the absence of some of those service providers, has stepped up to the plate. She's learning orientation mobility with her white cane. Her teachers made an obstacle course with students in the hallway, and she had to work through that. They didn't have to do that, but they did, because they love their students, they love this community, and they value education, as all of us standing here do today too. And my daughter, all three of them, would not be educationally where they are, socially where they are, which I think is a huge piece, that gym twice a week for our youngest students, that should be a given. When I told Addison that she can have gym twice a week, her face lit up and she was smiling. She's like, of course we want gym, it's fun. Or exercising your brain doesn't just mean sitting in a classroom learning math. It means running outside on the playground. It means running inside at gym, listening to the music that I've heard him play. That's all just as important as doing 1 + 1 = 2. You can't do that if you can't go outside and run. So I just wanted to say, honestly, a big thank you to all the educators out there doing the hard work, doing the good work, supporting our students, supporting us as family, as parents. I feel comfortable and confident when I send my kids to school that they're going to have a good time, they're going to learn, and they're going to be supported, and most importantly, they're going to feel safe. So thank you so much for everything you do. Thank you, community, for showing up.
Thank you very much, Jess. Lindsay Keene is up next. Come on up. Thank you.
Hi guys. So thank you for those of you that reached out to me to say a couple words today. Obviously, I have two daughters in the school system. One of my daughters is in 8th grade. The other one is in 2nd grade. So it's really important that the community has come together. So I wanted to tell a quick little story. Some of you have heard it. But right before the holiday break, my youngest daughter came home from 2nd grade with a gift bag with a poem about how special she was. There was a Christmas star toy in her bag, an ornament for her tree, and a hand-knitted hat. She opened that bag at the kitchen table, and her eyes lit up, and her smile beamed with pride as she read the note and hugged and tried on her hat. She couldn't wait to hang the ornament on the tree. Every single student in her 2nd grade class was given one of those special gifts by her teacher. 15 smiles, 15 eyes filled with pride, 15 hearts given a little magic just to make sure that they had some before the Christmas break. All night that night, I couldn't stop thinking about how that could be the only gift that some kids get. A gift for 15 students that was bought and made by a teacher who already pours so much into our babies every single day. Some kids don't go home to love, and just another reminder about how when you say things like these teaching and educator positions are replaceable, you are actually more out of line than you'll know. The teachers of this city truly go above and beyond, and they deserve us all to rally behind them. And look at the support we have here today. I want to obviously thank all of the teachers and educators that do this on the day-to-day. They love our kids at their own time and monetary expense. We are all here, and we see you. You have to understand that these types of educators deserve to be paid a living wage. In a city where our median income is $94,000 a year, our educators who have long lived in this city cannot keep up with the rising costs. Inflation this year alone is at 7%. The offer was 10% increase over 3 years, which barely covers this year. Two of our neighboring districts on average pay 67% more to their paraprofessionals. We want to retain the staff that we currently have, okay? Our teachers are operating under-resourced, understaffed, and grossly underpaid.
Yes, we are.
While our quick stats showcase an incredible 12-to-1 student-teacher ratio online, I'd like to see a show of hands of how many people in their classrooms have a 12-to-1 ratio. There is no one in this crowd, so that says that those are very, very wrong, okay? In transportation alone, we spend $2.7 million sending Woburn kids out of district to schools that can better facilitate. We spend more money to send more kids anywhere from $37,000 to $260,000 Why aren't we using these as learning instances to keep the money and quality education in our own city limits? My day job is in recruiting. I watch the unemployment trends and I see how many educators are flocking out of the system, and it's terrible. Those that we are attracting with these low pay scales to fill these roles, I am telling you, I do this every day, trust me, you do not want these people in these roles. You have teachers who are fighting to stay in their classrooms with the kids that we love and they love just as much. And while I am sympathetic that balancing a city's budget is not even close to balancing a checkbook, I can say the fact that this hasn't been prioritized for years before it came to this head should be a stain to the school committee and to the mayor. Our educators are given $0 in classroom startup fees when they are fresh out of school and $60,000 plus worth of debt. They are given $0 in classroom maintenance fees year over year. They pay on average to maintain their license approximately $1,500 a year in continuing education. A very small fraction of that, if any, can be resubmitted for reimbursement. This does not include any materials, toys, etc. used for classrooms. You are asking these teachers to quite literally pay for the profession that they are in. $22,000 a year minus the $1,500 minus their health, dental, and vision benefits wouldn't even cover a one-bedroom rental property in this city. You are quite literally forcing the hands of quality educators from this profession in the name of saving money today. But what does that look like long term? I'll tell you, the long term looks like more parents sending their children out of district. The long term looks like so many more expenses that this city will shovel out. It may not happen overnight, but this will trend upwards extremely fast. We ask these teachers to navigate the ebbs and flows of healthcare and education standards throughout COVID, learning new technology, revamping lesson plans, removing items that they have paid for out of pocket and buying new ones to adhere to the standards of the time. Let's not talk about how many masks Mrs. Desmond and Mrs. Malloy had to replace for Amelia because she couldn't keep one on her face the entire time. And that's just one kid. You all have how many? 20 plus. These teachers balance everything so eloquently. Why is this issue so important to me? Well, like most, I am a friend of many of these teachers. I have daughters again in the school district currently, but it is also the peace of mind for me. I know what kind of teachers, caretakers, shoulders to cry on, safeguards that these teachers and educators are standing out here today. Knowing that I can send my child to school with fellow moms and dads who care for my child like their own is priceless. We need to do better for our children and our educators. We need to start thrusting these issues into the limelight before we have to stand out here and stand up. These conversations should have been happening long before this week, and it's disheartening to think that this wasn't on the docket until noise started to be made. Woburn, you've made noise. It's amazing to see how many people are out here. Our teachers are not babysitters, and if you are not happy that they are striking because they can't support their families, you do not deserve the luxury of them supporting yours.
Todd, here's Todd.
Hello everyone, I'm Todd from India. I've been a resident here for 43 years, graduated in 99. Most of you I went to school with, played hockey with, partied with. I look out here today and I see a bunch of people that have passion. I could go anywhere in the world with my job for what I do, and I choose to stick here because of the teachers here. I have 3 children in the system right now that all need parents on some different levels. And I saw 2 years ago when we were home how important you all are to all of us. It isn't about money. It isn't about, finances, whatever. You guys deserve it for what you do for all the children. Like I said, 3 kids and all of them need parents. If I didn't have those parents, my kids would not succeed. One of my children that's in the high school came down from another district. He was failing freshman year. He hasn't failed a class since he's been here. He's a senior now. That's because of all of you. So I can't follow up with everyone in numbers and everything, but I just want to say I appreciate everything you're doing. I support all of you. You're doing a great job, and I hope this gets done soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Todd. We're going to take a quick break from the parents because we have students who are very antsy to get up here and say a couple of things, okay? Christy, here you go.
Yes, so we have some athletes here today representing the football team, the boys and girls basketball teams, the boys and girls hockey teams, wrestling, field hockey, volleyball, band, chorus, softball, tennis, girls lacrosse, track, theater, gymnastics, baseball, softball. So if you guys want to all come up together and they have one spokesperson.
Hi, my name is Joni Butler, and I'm a senior. I play girls soccer at WMHS. As a student athlete, we take pride in our school, our work, our games, our teachers. COVID ruined most of our years, and now Mayor Galvin refusing to negotiate basic needs is keeping us from school, from class, from learning. Mayor Galvin just needs to settle this contract so we can get back to our school, our extracurricular activities, games, practices, plays, performances, just get back to doing what we love. The students have done so much for us, from preschool to high school. Let them get back to doing what they love and what we love. This is our season, and we don't want to miss it. Again, COVID took away so much from us, and now we're fully back. Coaches, teachers, and students have put in so much work to get back into things. Again, this is our season. Please don't make us miss it. Get this contract settled so we can play. Let us play, let us play, let us play.
Thank you, athletes, for being here, and we really, truly hope that you are back out there playing really soon. Okay, thank you guys so much. We're going to add a couple of other people in here. Next, I would like to introduce Jeff Tang, who's the president of the Boston Teachers Union.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jessica Tang, and I am proud to serve as the president of the 10,000-member strong Boston Teachers Union. I'm also here representing AFT Massachusetts, and we want you to know, number one, we have your back, and number two, you are not alone. We know what you're doing is not easy. We know there's a lot of pressure on you. But we also know that you're doing this because you love your students and you know what your students need, and that's why you're taking on this fight. That's right. What we also know is that you are not replaceable. Where he didn't get the memo, but each and every single one of you matters, and our students need you. So, keep on fighting the good fight. We know that when we fight, we win! And we're going to continue to fight alongside you and supporting you however we can. I'm keeping it short and sweet because I understand there's a lot of speakers. All right. Let me introduce you to Cecil Carey, by the way, a high school teacher who just came from Charlestown High School and really wanted to be here to support you all too.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're on the north side of the city, you know, in Charlestown, and when we heard about this fight, we had to show up today because no matter what union you're in, no matter what city you work in, we are part of this same movement for education justice. And what you're doing here today is continuing that movement, because I don't care where we are. When workers' rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up. When workers' rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up. What do we do? Stand up. If we don't get it, we're going to shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. If we don't get it, shut it down. Keep it up. Solidarity from the BTU.
Thank you guys so much for coming out to support us. It means a lot. Next, I would like to introduce Evan Rodriguez, who is a junior at Woburn Memorial High School, who has prepared something he wants to say.
Hello class, my name is Evan Rodriguez. I'm a junior at Woburn Memorial High School and I'll be your teacher for the day. For today's lesson, we'll be learning about bullying. In an ideal world, I would have been at school today. In that same ideal world, my teachers would be getting paid enough to live comfortably. Unfortunately, nothing about the world we live in is ideal. So here we are again trying to explain to a brick wall why humans deserve human rights. Thankfully, brick walls can be broken down now. Now personally, I think it's sad that things have gotten to the point where children need to be up here telling elected officials why human rights matter. You didn't want to listen to those affected by this situation. You didn't want to listen to parents or people from other towns over. So now it's the students' turn to do something. My generation knows a thing or two about being pushed around by the man. We also know a thing or two about sticking it to the man. If the responsibility of protecting those who have been protecting us falls onto our shoulders, then we will proudly take on that burden. We'll use our outside voices all we want. We will be that rowdy group of children that so many people see us as. We'll stomp in rain puddles and leave muddy footprints in the labyrinths of your brain. We will do the unthinkable to help our teachers, the facilitators of our futures. My educators have been there for me in my darkest hours, and now I will return the favor. To Mayor Scott Galvin, I cannot fathom why you can't find it in your heart to support the teachers in your city. They lead your community. On top of supporting and strengthening it, something that you should be doing. You expect my teachers to run this city, but don't want to show them gratitude for all that they have done. You don't want to give them what they deserve. And to all the people who still don't get it, imagine dedicating your life to raising the future of this country. It's not something everyone can do, despite the amount of people who claim that being a teacher isn't that hard. Think about this. You just got your paycheck and you're really excited. But the printer at work is all out of ink, and your pens have all disappeared or dried up. Some of your supplies are old and outdated and just absolutely need to be replaced. So what do? You ask your boss for new ones, of course, but your boss says no, says that you don't need new things. you'll just have to make do with the old things you've got. Now, if you want to be able to do your job, you need to buy supplies on your own time with your own money. And when you do buy those supplies, your boss tells you to share them with the entire office. That's not fair, is it? Nothing about the way we treat teachers is fair. Now, I'm not sure if you all know what the golden rule is, but it goes a little something like this. Treat others the way you want to be treated. If you're treating my educators like objects that can be replaced at a moment's notice, then I think you can imagine the way they'll treat you back. I hope everyone took notes. To summarize for those who weren't paying attention, stop bullying my teachers. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce our former union presidents, Janet Alicia O'Connell and Nancy Whalen.
I haven't spoken in one of these in a long time. My name is Janet Valencia O'Connell, and 50 years, 10 months ago today, the Woburn teachers went out on a strike. We were pushed to the wall, as you have been. We had the four top leaders. The four top leaders of the association in 1969-70 were 22, 23, 22, and 23. None of us were on tenure, but we took the teachers, and with about 99% of the faculty, of the teachers, the paras, and the nurses went out on strike. We didn't do it for fun. We didn't do it for money. We did it for our kids. And I can tell you that because the final contract, with the final contract, it was a $50 difference. Big deal. But what happened the first day of our strike? I was here in Woburn on Monday, and I saw people standing and waving and honking, doing all the things you need to do. And it was really awesome. Brought back a lot of memories for me. But I went home that night, Monday night, and I went through a whole bunch of the old Woburn stuff. And I found there were some problems back then, but we dealt with them. Yeah, on the second day of our strike, I'll go back one night. The first night of the strike, the sheriff from Suffolk County came in and served us all with injunctions and said, you will be in court tomorrow morning. So we said, good, we'll do it after the picnic. So at 10 o'clock that morning, we went in and met with with Judge Robert Sullivan, who sat us down in his courtroom and said, this is it. You have three choices. Number one, end the strike. Go back to Woburn and tell the teachers to go back to work. Number two, you can quit, resign from teaching for the rest of your life. Or you could go to jail. Now, as I said, we were 22, 23, 22, and 23. And we decided that we would go to jail. It was not something that I had planned on. My father came to court that day because he worked at the State House. And as we were walking out, Judge Sullivan said, you're on your way to jail. Go ahead. And my father said, Janet, go to jail. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. So we went to jail. And we sat there. We were very fortunate that the county, the sheriff of Suffolk County, was really awesome. By the way, the sheriff of Middlesex County refused to take us. He refused to come in to the meetings and take the 4 officers to jail. Suffolk County wasn't quite as good, but they put us in jail, and we were in our individual cells. Now, at 22, I wasn't thinking much about anything except, can I go home? I want to see my dog. I want my mom and dad. Sally, and there were 4 of us. Arthur Hurley was the president. Sally Potter was the vice president, grievance chairman. Susan Brennan was the recording secretary, and I was the corresponding secretary. The 4 of us were also on the negotiating team, but we were sitting in our jail cells when there was negotiations that had to be done. We had a backup team, like your silent observers, but we had a backup negotiating team that was ready to go when they took us away. The judge, Robert Sullivan, said to the teachers, you're in jail, but you know what? The school committee's not getting away with this. He said, what we are going to do is tomorrow morning, which would have been Thursday, he said, what I'm going to do is order the Woburn School Committee and the mayor, if he chooses to come. We're going to take them and have them come into Boston to my office, and they will sit, and they will negotiate. And I will lock the doors if I have to, because they're going to come out with a contract that they can bring to you in jail. And that's what happened. They negotiated a very fair contract. They brought it to us in Tommy Eisenstadt's living room. He was the sheriff at the time. He also gave us scotch. He had to have something. My twin sister actually came into jail to visit me. And she said, you know, Mom and Dad are kind of sad. I said, well, Dad didn't act it earlier. And she said, you know, all we want is for you to be able to go back to Woburn to teach the children you love. And some of them are actually here today. They are now teachers in Woburn. I'm looking at a sign right in front of me. It says, treat our teachers and parents with kindness. And the other word that maybe should be there is respect. One of the things you all deserve is the respect of the mayor, of the school committee, and the parents. The parents are awesome. They will stand with you as long as you let them know what's going on. Now, the 3rd day of our strike, we were still in jail. They were still out picketing, and the sheriff's office sent somebody in to tell us what's going on. And we were there, and there was a little problem at the jail, but I don't want to talk about that. It was weird. But anyway, we were kind of hanging out and talking about the contract and worrying about what was going on in Woburn. And on the radio, I was next to this lady who was a thief. She was next to me in the jail cell. And she said, you know, Janet, they just played a song on the radio. It was dedicated to you Woburn teachers. And I said, oh, what was that? And I said, the song, United We Stand, Divided We Fall. So, yeah, I am going to leave now, but I want you to know that as a teacher in Woburn for 35 years, and a retired lecturer for the last 20, I still love Woburn. I will do anything I can to help this you people get a fair settlement. Thank you.
And we love
WTA officer and contract bargainer for most of my 30 years in Woburn, until I retired in 2015. But you never retire from caring about our union, our colleagues, our contract, our schools, our students, so here I am again. When I was asked to speak last Saturday, I wrestled with what tone and what content to represent. I went with moderation and historical perspective. Well, that was 5 rallies and 4 disgraceful, time-sucking bargaining sessions ago. So today you're getting angry me instead. Here are my grievances. Number 1, Scott Galvin. During my tenure, the WTA bargained with Woburn mayors John Rabbert, Bob Dever, John Curran, Tom McLaughlin, and Scott Galvin. These first 4 gentlemen generally appeared at the first and final sessions, leaving the actual give-and-take bargaining to the members of the school committee, obviously with some directives. Scott has had, from the get-go, a different, and I'd say deleterious tact. He has somehow become the master puppeteer. He has somehow found his own puppets, because he's our own not-so-nice Jim Henson, the Sesame Street creator. He has found his puppets version of Bert, Ernie, Abby Cadabby, and Zoe. In the team of Superintendent Matt Crowley, Chairperson of the School Committee Chris Kissel, members Ellen Crowley and Pat Chisholm. I don't know how this happened, that these 4 bargainers have either drunk the Galvin Kool-Aid or had their spines severed or what, I don't know. Number 2, Chairperson Chris Kissel has somehow stayed way under the radar regarding blame. He hasn't taken much of a hit at all. He's supposed to be the conductor of the bargaining train. Well, it's off the rails. He has seated his cap and whistled to Scott. Shame on him. Remember this. Number 3, committee member Ellen Crowley, former chairperson, former mayoral opponent of Galvin. If, in fact, 4,300 of Woburn students' education was disrupted and not given precedence over one student's sporting event, perhaps her priorities or lack of being a flexible scheduler must be questioned. I did say if. These pre-strike bargaining sessions over the weekend were almost an emergency. And one reacts to an emergency. Shame and disappointment, remember this. Number 4, Patricia Chisholm, longtime school committee member, also way under the radar. The story is that she was perhaps unaware of the emergency bargaining plan for the weekend. If the police can be called in to check the IDs of our negotiators, they could also be sent to provide this member a police escort to bargaining. Pat has been tasked to bargain with, but it seems very much against the paraprofessionals. How's that working out? Remember this. Number 5, Superintendent Matt Crowley. Why isn't he taking some heat too? Where was his defense of his staff when they were insulted and called replaceable? Not one apology has come from him. His lack of solidarity with the teachers, paras, nurses, and counselors who he praised for their selfless pandemic work on behalf of the Woburn schools is disgraceful. He can praise us in emails, but he can't find the gumption to stick up for you when you were so nastily dismissed by the mayor. Remember this. We all know that, as in all things, it takes a village. Remember these 5 villagers who are responsible for the frustrations and disrespect that brought the WTA to a strike vote. Don't let them off the hook. And just a bit more, Scott Galvin, in every one of his very uncomfortable and not 100% factual TV interviews, never fails to call this strike action illegal, disruptive, and unnecessary. Well, you're right on one count, Scott. We knew it was illegal due to an archaic Massachusetts law that the MTA is working to strike down. Disruptive, right again, Scott. Your refusal to meet face-to-face and just simply be in the same building but never actually bargain with the WTA is disruptively causing parents to come up with plans B, Kids have no schools to go to. Teachers are spending their money on warmer standout clothes instead of the money to support their classrooms. Disruptive indeed, Scott. It is disruptive. But unnecessary, so wrong. Scott et al., it has been so necessary. And your action since the strike vote was made is even more so. There is an old saying that that applies here. The only thing necessary for evil to triumph in the world is when good men do nothing. Well, good men and women of Woburn, you are doing something, and it's a long time coming, and may the good people of Woburn triumph.
Thank you. Let me just for the previous speaker. Where are you? Madam President, that was fabulous. That was fabulous. Thank God she did the notes, because I'll tell you, what you want to say, you can't say here. Good afternoon, sisters and brothers. My name is Stephen Tolman. I'm the president of the Massachusetts AFL-CIO. We represent about 500,000 members in Massachusetts, and I am here to tell each and every one of you that we are with you. We were with you yesterday, we are with you today, and we will be with you tomorrow. I, like so many of you, saw this mayor on television, and I saw his cavalier attitude and how he tried to make it like the teachers were doing something wrong. Well, I'll tell you what, the teachers are standing up against injustice. That's what they're doing. And you know what else? I picture this mayor sitting on top of his $80 million and being the loneliest guy in the city of Woburn. And I also heard he's up for election this year. Now, sisters and brothers, the struggles of organized labor have gone on for 150 years in this country. And there's one thing we can all be sure of, that nothing is ever given to the workers. Nothing is ever just given away. Everything that workers have today, we had to fight for. And even in the 1930s, one of my favorite labor leaders, A. Philip Randolph, had a quote that I remember and I live by. And we will live by it here today and move as we move forward. He said, at the banquet table of nature, there are no reserved seats. You get what you can take, and you keep what you can hold. And if you can't hold anything, you won't keep anything. And you can't take anything without organization. Sisters and brothers, I ask you all, sisters and brothers, are we organized? We will stand here and stand up against an evil mayor who doesn't want to respect the teachers and make sure that our children have the beautiful education that they deserve. So I'm going to tell you, all across the crowd, we have all different people from labor. We've seen the teachers going by, we have the machinists, we have the operating engineers, we have the elevator constructors and building trades. Massachusetts AFL-CIO will be with you, and we're honored to be with the state president and the state vice president of the NFTA. And the head of the Greater Boston Labor Council is here. Sisters and brothers, we will last. We will stand with you every single day. You are right. And we will be proud to stand with you. Don't give up the fight. And if there's anybody that's expendable, it's the mayor!
Thank you so much. Next, I would just like to invite Tom Maria. Sorry? Take that back. Next, I would
is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
The cold never bothered you because you've got a man with a stone cold heart of ice. This is my poor PC message from lady.
All right, we are the Melrose Contract Action Team, and we are so proud and excited to see another neighboring local take a stand for the contract and the schools that you deserve.
I tell you, we thought we had it bad with our mayor in Melrose. He's got nothing on what's going on here. But this struggle is going to make each and every one of you stronger. It's going to make your local stronger. It's going to make other locals stronger. It's going to make your school stronger and your community as a whole. In Woburn, we are here with you. We hear you. Keep up the good fight. We wish you well.
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Scott Galvin has got to go!
Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Scott Galvin has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Scott Galvin has got to go! Hey, hey! Ho, ho! Scott Galvin has got to go!
Okay, so next, I would like to introduce Max Page and Deb McCarthy from the NCA.
Good afternoon, Woburn! So, I packed a suitcase Monday morning at 5:30 and headed up to your community. Honestly thought it was going to be a 2-day stint. But in that time, I actually found Rosh's down the street so I could get an orange jacket on sale. But I just want to talk about your community. I have fallen in love with Woburn. And while it has been an honor to listen to you talk about how much you love your educators, I am the one with Max. We have been blessed for 3 days listening to your educators talk about how much they love your students. Love your students. These are educators who are working 2 and 3 jobs, who are afraid of what the future will bring because they're one paycheck away from maybe being homeless. They have dedicated their lives to you for one reason only. They love you. But I'll tell you this, I've yet to meet a school committee member because they don't show up. They won't even come into the meeting. I don't know who this mayor is, but truthfully, I don't care that I haven't met him. But I want to thank you for letting me fall in love with your community. We love you,
I have a feeling Woburn's fallen in love with Deb McCarthy too. Deb has been there every day. We were there, and every day I will say, you all, the WTA, showed up exactly on time, as was stated. We're going to start bargaining at 9:30. Guess who showed up an hour late? Yeah, they sauntered in because, you know what? It's not clear they actually want to settle this thing. Because they would like to punish the WTA and the MTA, and that's not going to happen. Because when this is all said and done, you will win a great contract. You will head towards living wages for ESPs, for our paraprofessionals. You're going to win fair pay for everyone else so it's competitive, fair with the whole region. And you're going to pass on the solidarity that you built here onto the next community in the same way that Melrose showed it and passed it on to you. And Haverhill and Malden passed it on to Melrose, who's passed it on to Woburn, and on it goes. by the Mass Nurses Association down at the Brigham. Guess what their problem is? Unfair pay, not enough nurses to care for the patients. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. Let me tell you, when I got there and I said, I've just come from Woburn, I could barely get the word out, and the cheer just like echoed across the whole room. They're standing for you. Katie Murphy's been here, the president. She was up in Haverhill. She'll be here tomorrow. They are all in for the educators here because you know what? When the nurses and the educators rule the world, peace and prosperity will pervade across the land. So look, the last thing I'm going to do, students, close your ears. I'm going to do a little plagiarism. Plagiarism is not, you don't do it in school, but in life, if you actually give credit, it's okay. So Barbara Locke says it very simply. When it comes to the public schools here, who do you trust? Scott Galvin? Or the educators of the WTA?
Thank you so much. Okay, so before we move on, I do want to introduce a couple other people, but before we move on, I just think it's a good time. If you're here from another local, I don't want everybody to come up and speak, but will you just come up and say where you're from? Because I think it would be nice for people to hear. We've been out here for 3 days, and I just think our members would love to hear how many educators are here supporting us.
Hi, we're your neighbors from Winchester. We're supporting you. We appreciate everything that you do, and good luck.
This is Conrad going from Tewksbury. We are standing with you. Keep it going, and we are going to win.
Keep it going, Woburn. Scarborough teachers are with you.
I'm Cliff Ashford from Haverhill. We know what it's like to be on the line. You guys are killing it. Same energy. You got this. Don't let them divide you. You have the power. Stay out as long as it takes.
Sean Musselman, Woburn resident, Arlington president. We are with you, WTA.
Woburn educators, you have the full faith and support of the Wakefield Education Association. I'm James. I grew up here, went to the Joyce Middle School, and I'm a teacher in Boston. You have the full support of the Boston teachers. Time to pride, baby!
Alec Keeling, Waltham teacher. Woburn parent. And I vote. Mayor Galvin, time's up.
I'm Stephanie Ramos from Billerica, and all of us in the Billerica Public Schools are standing in solidarity with all the Woburn educators, and we just want you guys back in school with your students.
Wilmington supports Woburn, WTA with the WTA.
Hi, my name is Derek Genova. I teach in Wellesley with the Wellesley Education Association as well, and I've also lived here for 11 years. I have 2 kids, the Malcolm White. And I'm angry. Not at you. I'm angry at the position that you're in. It never should have come to this. Never should have happened at this point. Basically, where we're at right now, this is all on Scott Galvin. I've seen a lot of comments online, people saying, why are the teachers doing this? One of my favorites is, hey teachers, think about why you joined and started doing this job. As if you don't do that every single day. And why you're not thinking that when you're doing this. Parents make $22,000 a year in this city. Nobody can live on that. It's impossible. I don't care how much you love your job. And so what happens? We have dozens of positions that remain unfilled. Students can't get the services they need and deserve. You could walk away, take whatever scraps the mayor's going to give you, and who's going to lose there? The students, the kids. I know what you're fighting for. I don't need that question anymore from anybody. I know what you're fighting for. What my question is, what is the mayor fighting for? Why are you willing to die on this hill? For our city's the bond rating? For some extra money in the stabilization fund? Give me a break. When you're going to buy a house or rent a house, what's the first question you ask about the city or town? How are the schools? You're telling me it's not worth it for the city to invest in this educational system? If we're not here to fund the kids, what are we doing? Every single day this strike goes on is an embarrassment to the city of Woburn, but not because of you. Because every single day the mayor and the leaders are shouting to everyone in this state that they're not interested in this school, the educators, or the students. Sorry. This didn't have to happen. Mayor Galvin could end the strike anytime. He could have prevented it from happening in the first place. He knows the parapay is pathetic. He knows that when he tacks on 5 days to the contract, he's not offering a true cost of living increase. He says this is outrageous. What's truly outrageous is he's willing to fight for his ego and not for his students. All during a time when people willing to go into education is at an all-time low. When you have a bad contract, nobody wants to work for your city. Nobody wants, you're not going to get the highly qualified, motivated people, and the students are going to suffer. You're here fighting for your students, and I applaud you for it. So I just ask one more time, Mayor Galvin, school committee, what are you fighting for?
We have one more teacher and former student that wants to speak.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is John O'Connor. I am a former Woburn Public School student. I attended the Goodyear Elementary School, Kennedy Middle School, and I graduated from Woburn Memorial High School in 2017. Today, because of the support from my teachers, both then and now, I can proudly say that I am a first-year educator teaching at Danvers High School. Without the support of every single one of my teachers, I would not be where I am today. The amount of dedication and love that these teachers have provided to me, my former classmates, their current students, and most importantly, this community, does not compare to anywhere else. I still speak with so many of my former teachers on a regular basis, and even today they continue to support me as an educator and a colleague. There are even teachers whose classrooms I did not have the opportunity to sit in that support me as if I was one of their own students. That just goes to show you the level of commitment that Woburn teachers have for their students. Additionally, I would not have passed my MTEL exam without the help of Ms. Santos. I would not have any classroom management strategies without Ms. DeLuna. I would not have been able to do my favorite high school project with my students without Ms. Lynch. They all loved it, by the way. I would not have a love for music without Mr. Tully. I would not be able to share my passion for fostering community through world language and culture without Mrs. Gilberti. And I would not have the courage courage to use my voice to speak up for what is right without Mr. Scarborough.
Thank you, John.
There are so many teachers that I want to thank for helping me to get where I am today, but we'd be here all night if I listed them all one by one. With that being said, Woburn teachers make a difference in students' lives. Without them, there would not be a community here in Woburn. Remember that they are far from replaceable, and this community needs to know that. To the Woburn community, I now speak directly to you. I understand your frustrations about the school closings, and I understand that this is probably disrupting your lives in one way or another. My brother is a senior at Woburn Memorial High School, and he is sad because this is affecting his senior year. My cousin attends the Kennedy Middle School, and he's sad that he isn't learning any new Spanish that he can show off to me. And my little cousin attends the Goodyear Elementary School, and she is sad that she cannot be with the teacher that she loves so much. However, this is so much bigger than anybody could ever realize. While your students may not physically be in school, I guarantee you that Woburn teachers and paraprofessionals are teaching your students the most valuable lesson of all. The learning objective for all Woburn students right now is the same. What will happen when teachers are tired of being pushed around, being underpaid, and feeling undervalued? The learning outcome is simple. They will stand up for themselves, and they will do for what they believe in. And that's what they're showing our students. For far too long have Woburn teachers and paraprofessionals been without a contract. For far too long have Woburn teachers and paraprofessionals been pushed around and have been undervalued. I saw that back when I was a student, and I continue to see it now today. For far too long have Woburn paraprofessionals been struggling to put food on their tables and keep a roof over their head. I guarantee you that the fact that all the Woburn teachers and paraprofessionals cannot be with their students is killing them every day. They want to be in their classrooms with their students, and they never wanted it to come to this. But at some point, they have to say enough is enough. So to the people of Woburn, use your voices and rise up to support them now, more than ever. They have supported us in this community their entire careers, and now it is our turn to stand up and support them as they did for us. Let the media and the world know what is going on here. Let them know that the mayor and the school committee have been refusing to negotiate in good faith with the Woburn Teachers Association. Let the world know that the mayor and the school committee do not want our hardworking paraprofessionals to have a living wage, and that they believe a salary of $21,000 is a sufficient amount to live off of. I urge you to use your voices and stand up for what is right. To Mayor Scott Galvin, School Committee Chair Chris Kissel, and School Committee Member Ellen Crowley, I'm speaking now directly to you. You may not know who I am, but I know who you are. Even though your methods leave much to be desired, I know that in the end we all want the same goal, and that is the education for our students. Ms. Crowley, you are a lawyer. Mr. Kissel, you are a photographer. And Mr. Mayor, you are a politician. None of you have ever had the pleasure of being in a classroom and really experiencing what it is like to be a teacher. You know, a lot of people like you all assume many things about the profession. I would love for all of you to come and work with me in my classroom for a week. That way we can put all of your assumptions to rest. Because let me be very clear when I say this. It takes a strong person to be a teacher. And frankly, I don't think any of you could do it. As a teacher, you have to put your ego aside to do what is best for your students. And through this entire process, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Kissel, and Ms. Crowley, you have all shown that you do not have what it takes to do that. I'm hoping that this message can serve as a wake-up call to you all. The WTA is ready and willing to negotiate all night if they need to get a contract settled so that they can go back to school with their students. If you truly believe that this strike is, quote, a terrible burden to the students and their families, end quote, then why are you not willing to do your part by negotiating? if you are, quote, very frustrated and you think the taxpayers and the parents are very frustrated, end quote. Again, I ask you why you continue to not do your part by negotiating so we can reopen these schools. I can guarantee you that the taxpayers and parents are indeed frustrated, but Mr. Mayor, despite what you may think, they are not frustrated with the Woburn teachers and paraprofessionals. They are frustrated with you and the school committee. This community is standing behind the teachers and paraprofessionals of Woburn, and we understand the importance of this fight for them. Whatever it takes, we stand with them now and always. So once again, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Kissel, and Ms. Crowley, for the sake of the students, families, teachers, and this community, please return to the bargaining table and do what needs to be done. Just like our teachers and our paraprofessionals have been doing this whole time. Have some level of commitment to getting this contract settled, just as the Woburn teachers and paraprofessionals have been doing. To the Woburn teachers and paraprofessionals, I know you see the posts and hear people telling you to keep fighting, but do not give up. Stay strong, be vigilant, and continue to be inspirations to this community, your fellow educators, and most of all, your students. Let me share something with you that I share with my students daily. When students are struggling with something, I always tell them, "Si se puede," which means you can do it. So to the Woburn teachers and paraprofessionals, do not give up this fight. Do not let their bullying tactics intimidate you. Do not let them get you down. You are loved and appreciated by this community. Si se puede. Finally, I want to leave you all with this. Mrs. Gilberti was the most influential teacher I ever had. I was in her class for what she calls quattro fantastici anni, which means 4 fantastic years. A quote that she left in my yearbook is something that I always go back to whenever I'm feeling down. She wrote, "Ti aspetto qui a scuola quando sarai mio collega," which means I'll be here at school for when you are my colleague. I continue to stand by her and the entire Woburn Teachers Association. Rise up, let them hear your voices. Tell the world what is happening here in our city. Stand up for what is right. Stand by our teachers.
And I would just like to invite Marian Matroni to come up and say something.
Hi, I'm a lifelong resident and parent of an 11th grader and an 8th grader. And I just want to say the time is now. The city needs to get back to the bargaining table right now. The union is ready to bargain and get our kids back to school. So, guys,
My name is Shayla Gritzer. Hi, Shayla. I'm in 2nd grade, and I'm 8 years old. I just wanted to say, stay strong, Woburn teachers. You got this.
Okay, I think I've cried 12 times already. So I'm going to pass it over to somebody that saw us falling and was there to catch us from the beginning of this. We love and appreciate her. So this is Deb Giswaldo.
Good afternoon, Woburn! My name is Deb Giswaldo, and I'm a proud union public school music educator and president of the Malden Education Association. Where just a few months ago, we were in the exact same spot that you are now. And I am here to tell you that you can and you will come out of this on the other side stronger than you ever were before. Stronger as educators, stronger as students, and stronger as a community. You can and you will win because you are fighting for what is right, you are fighting for what is just, and you are standing up to a bully. People like your mayor and your school committee are the reason why we need to make sure our state legislators know that they need to pass right to strike legislation. Because it should not be illegal to stand up for what is right. You are standing up for more time on learning for your students. You are standing up for paraprofessionals to make a dignified, respectable living wage. There is nothing outlandish about what you are all fighting for, and you should all be so proud of yourselves as a union and as a community. And you have the support of my local, the Malden Education Association, and 25 other local educators unions that represent more than 24,000 union educators in Massachusetts. We are with you every blessed step of the way for whatever you need to win this fight for what is right for educators, students, and this community. Because we know that you are fighting for what is right. And I want you to repeat after me. Some of you are going to know exactly where this is going to go. So repeat after me. I believe. I believe. I believe that. I believe that we. I believe that we will. I believe that we will win. 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 You
Guys, I just want to say to everyone, this has been an incredibly emotional afternoon for us as educators. We took a leap last Friday. Barbara said it best. We took a leap, and this community caught us. We will not forget it. We thank you all for coming out. We know it's cold. We know there was a lot of speakers. We appreciate you more than you will ever know. Just because we're, all teachers, as someone just reminded me, if everybody could help us out and just make sure you pick up trash, we want to make sure we leave the commons clean.
I love you, Coach Locke!
Jess, before we leave, I just want to bring out Christy and Eric. There's so many people behind the scenes. I can't begin to tell you all of the people, all of us teachers, but these two individuals here, along with MTA, have organized this, have made this happen. It has become something that we never ever expected. I watched tears in this guy's eyes and tears in this woman's eyes because we care. But they have done tremendous, tremendous work, and I'd just like you to give them all a great round of applause.
Thank you, everyone. If you see any trash, if you could help pick it up, please, that would be awesome.